Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm gonna be doing a completely spoiler-free review of Star Wars The Force Awakens to get all of you hyped for the premiere of the movie sometime this week. So first off, obviously, this particular review has zero spoilers. I'm not gonna talk about the plot, I'm not gonna talk about certain character elements in it. I'm not going to talk about anything spoilerific, not even a tiny bit. And the only thing this particular review is going to be about is how I personally felt going into the movie and experiencing it for myself, as to create a kind of impression for you guys. Secondly, for those who want a very quick review of how it is and then just get out without any details or any reactions even from myself, I'm going to give you this. I loved it. It was good. Now that that part's done, anybody who doesn't want to stick around for any more, now, those of you who do want more, let's get right into it, alright? I've always said that Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, and it might actually be my favorite movie of all time. The order used to be Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, because let's face it, even if you hate the prequels, this was the best one, and then the other two. And now the order has changed to Empire Strikes Back, The Force Awakens, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and the rest. Yeah, The Force Awakens has taken my second favorite Star Wars movie of all time spot from the first Star Wars movie. That's how good I think it is. Before we go any further, let me just lay it out there. I am a huge Star Wars fan. A huge Star Wars fan. Not only do I watch the movies and the TV shows, I also read the comics. And I even ended up reading a few of the novels, which is so unusual for me because I'm not a reader. I don't like reading books. But here I am, reading book after book of Star Wars and even downloading and listening to a Star Wars audiobook. And going into the movie, the expectations were quite high, you know. I was like, please be good, please be good, please be good. I want you to be good. And it turned out to be great, and it was a huge emotional roller coaster for me because I remember I was sitting there and Sam was sitting next to me. I told her that I would probably end up grabbing her hand more than once because I was prone to feeling super emotional, and she's like, yeah, it's fine. And first time it happened, it was when Lucasfilm flashed across the screen. But the second time it happened was when, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the hair on my arms just stood on its end. I was having goosebumps and I grabbed her hand and I squeezed it because I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe that I'm sitting in a theater watching a new Star Wars movie. And then, in my face, with John Williams' score blaring, Star Wars, you know? And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. I think I cried a little. No shame, I think I really did. Okay, professional review face back on. And then we had the opening crawl, and that was when I realized that going into the movie, I literally knew nothing about the plot of this movie. And neither do you. I was sitting at the theater and I saw the damn screen and the movie was beginning and I realized I knew nothing about this movie. What's the story about? I had no idea. And that is a kind of magic that you just don't get with movies these days, you know? People talking about how Batman vs Superman spoiled a lot, people talking about how certain trailers like Amazing Spider-Man 2 basically laid out the whole movie and stuff like that, you know? And the fact that Star Wars was preserved in its mystery and its glory for us to consume, that's amazing. Anyway, so the movie started and the opening crawl, in my opinion, was absolutely perfect because it let us know exactly what we needed to know. I honestly cannot remember an opening crawl being that to the point, you know? The prequels are obviously rambling about some Trade Federation bullshit. The originals actually, while they were very concise, had a lot more to talk about because they had to build the whole world. And these movies didn't because everybody knows what the Star Wars world is, so it was just clear, concise, to the point, and it's like, this is your scenario, go. And I really appreciated that, you know? It was nice to just jump in. Before I went into the movie, I actually read a bit of the tie-in novels because I thought it would fill in some of the gaps and help me get prepared for the movie, maybe give me a clue or two about it. And it was these three novels here. See, the thing about these books are none of them give away plot spoilers, none of them give away anything major, it just kind of sets the stage. Moving on, a few days before I went into the movie, I ended up buying this. This is basically a bottle of water, and obviously it's a Star Wars bottle of water, and I bought it because I needed to have water with me when I'm outside, you know, and I didn't always want to buy water. And also because it does this cool thing where you just, you know, click it, it opens, and you just And the thing is, this thing has Kylo Ren on the front, you know? Kylo Ren is a bad guy of this movie, and a lot of people worried that he would just be Darth Vader 2.0, or he would just, you know, be not that interesting, or be too similar to Darth Vader. And I am here to tell you that this guy is not Darth Vader in any way. I saw some of the things that this guy did and I was just like, oh my god. Because it's amazing. I'd never seen anything like it on a Star Wars movie before. Moving on, a concern that I had going into the movie was the fact that the original cast was there as well as the new cast. And it made me think that either the new cast or the original cast are going to be made redundant because, hey, these are the heroes who've already saved the galaxy, so what's the use for the new heroes? Or like, oh, these original heroes are too old and they can't do anything now, so what's the point of them compared to the new people? But it wasn't like that at all. It was very organic having them both in there, and it didn't overshadow each other at all, and that's something I'm very happy about. And another thing about this movie is that it's really funny. I know that Star Wars has always had a little bit of humor in it, especially thanks to Han Solo and no thanks to Jar Jar Binks, but it's never been this kind of humor, and the jokes really landed quite well for me, you know? I ended up laughing, I ended up smiling, and I guess from that point on I should talk about the new cast. John Boyega as Finn, Daisy Ridley as Rey, Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron, and Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. All of them were great, okay? None of them were the new Han, the new Luke, the new Leia, the new Darth Vader or whatever. They were all different, they were all new and welcome additions to the Star Wars canon, and I found them to be very interesting, each in their own different way. John Boyega was really likable, really friendly, really interesting, and really funny. I just love this guy, you know? The things that he says, the things that he does, Daisy Ridley as Rey in this movie. Before this movie, I had no idea who Daisy Ridley was. I hadn't actually seen anything she was in, but now I actually really like her. I think that she did a really great job as Rey, and I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for her. It's really nice to see another badass female character in Star Wars following the footsteps of Princess Leia, in my opinion, the original badass. Now, a special mention goes out to Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron. The way that he turned out was quite likable. If I was told to describe Poe Dameron in one word, it would be likable. This guy is charming, he's confident, he's highly skilled, and he's just so goddamn likable. From the first moment I saw him, I liked him. Everything he says makes me like him. The things that he does makes me like him. This guy is just awesome, alright? And I look forward to seeing more of him in episode 8 as well. Also, Poe Dameron is the owner of BB-8, which I thought would be an annoying piece of shit, but it turned out to be really cute and really fun as well. I really like BB-8, honestly, and I would like to buy a toy of BB-8 if I can, but I hear that those things are like super expensive, so maybe not. When the original Star Wars trilogy was coming out, when the original movie came out, it was actually called Star Wars, not Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. And this is because they thought that it would just be a standalone movie, one and done, you know? But then the movie turned out to be super popular, so they ended up making 2 more, and then 3 more. But the point that I'm trying to make is that those movies were not designed from the top to be a trilogy. This movie has been created from the top to be the first of 3 movies. And you can clearly tell because there are parts of it that are not explained, parts of it that are gaps, and the ending is one of those endings that it's not like everything is neatly tied up in a bow. Because when it ends, you're just like, oh my god, how could they stop there? I want so much more. When is episode 8 coming out? Which I think is 2017, I could be wrong. That being said, the next Star Wars movie that's gonna come out is Star Wars Rogue One, which is gonna come out in 2016, and it is partially filmed in the Maldives, so yay! We're gonna finally get to know which planet we're from when it comes to the galaxy far away. You know, I actually ended up writing an article about that to a Maldivian newspaper. I will leave the link to that somewhere here and also on the description below, so be sure to check it out if you're interested to see what I think about why Star Wars is being filmed in the Maldives and what location they could be trying to emulate. One of the best parts about watching The Force Awakens was not just watching it for myself and getting a Star Wars movie to enjoy, but like being in a theater surrounded by people who loved Star Wars just like I did, who were really excited just like I was, who woke up to go watch a show at 3 a.m. just like I did, and just loved Star Wars. It was amazing. I remember parts of the movie where like something cool would happen and everybody would just start applauding or like whooping or going like, oh, or something like that, and it was it was incredible. It was like being part of something bigger than yourself. It was like how Obi-Wan Kenobi describes the Force to Luke, you know, like how you're part of something bigger, how everything is connected and how the Force resides in all of us. And I truly believe that the best part about Star Wars is how much people love it. And this movie has given a lot to love. I loved it from the beginning right up to the end. I loved it despite how similar some aspects of it were to the original movies. I loved how the new characters were. I loved how the old characters were. I just really had a great time with this movie. It was amazing and I encourage you guys to see it. I'm gonna give the movie the highest of 5, not only because I'm a super huge Star Wars fan, but also because the movie itself was quite good. I hope everybody gets to enjoy the movie when it premieres anywhere near you, and I hope that you don't spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it. And even if a little bit of it got spoiled for you via the internet, it's okay. Go watch it because there are a lot more surprises than people can spoil, so just go for it, okay? All that being said, I think there's only one way to end this right. May the Force be with you all.